Good morning, friends. We are in the truck this morning. This is Birdie. This is the OG Hello Garden vehicle. And we are on our way to the dirt exchange right now to pick up a load of compost. I am tired of buying singular bags of compost. This is a much better deal. I need way more than just a couple bags to get this next row in the cut flower garden planted. So we're off. It's an adventure day. All right, friends, here we are at the Dirt Exchange. This is located in Ballard in Seattle, Washington, and this is a phenomenal place for you to access bulk materials. Now, the reason I am doing this is because, really honestly, product quality and cost. This is a huge cost savings when you are purchasing, when you need more than just like a couple bags of something. So anytime you've seen me do a mulch application or any other bulk application, chances are pretty good I am here at the Dirt Exchange pulling it. Now, this is not limited to just compost and mulch. You can get gravel, you can get river rock, you can even get some larger stones. And so I'll kind of just give you a little preview of all the goodies that you can get here. But for me today, I'm in search of compost. I might even get some fish compost if they have it. Sometimes they have it and it's super good. Real stinky, but she's good. Okay, so what's really cool about the Dirt Exchange is in case you are kind of confused about what you want to get, you have questions, they have this essentially little sample bin out here for you to reference. And so I can kind of walk you through a lot of the different things that I have used and I've purchased from here, because I think I've actually purchased most everything in this board. Okay, so come on in. This veggie garden mix, this is actually what I started with as a base for the parterre style garden out front. What you're gonna notice is this is actually pretty sandy. So what I did when I started out is I used my veggie garden mix, but then I also mixed in some compost. Okay, and that just gave me a much more rich, healthy beginning. I have utilized their two-way topsoil. That's really great if you're reseeding a lawn or starting fresh on a lawn. They are now carrying organic compost, which I feel like is new in the last year. Coming down here, there's a lot of different things. We've got a couple different kinds of barks, and here is the scoop. I want to go through these with you. Fine dark bark is what I apply to most of my clients because they don't like a stinky mulch application. I don't care about the stink. I feel like that's earth working its magic. There's fine orange bark, which is basically like this is just like lighter wood chips. It's a little bit more like fibrous. Do you see that? And then this garden mulch up here, what this is this is what I really love. This is the fine dark bark mixed with compost, so you get a nice nutrient application. Moving over here, a couple of things. Booster blend, it's a great amendment. I never really go for this because I kind of mix my own situation, but if you want a no-brainer, this is great. Arborist wood chips, this is lovely if you have a large area that you need to cover. Cedar play chips are fantastic when I have gardens that I am doing where there are little kids. I've done nature trails with this. I have filled playgrounds with this. Cedar play chips are just kind of a standard. All right, now we're getting into rock territory. 5/8 minus, this is great for like an informal kind of like gravelly situation. If I was to do like a fire pit and I didn't want to do a paver, this 1/4 minus is good, but I do the 1/4 minus clean. This 1/4 minus unwashed is really what you might use for a, gosh, maybe like a base for concrete pavers. When you get the 1/4 minus clean, do you see how it doesn't have all that little particulate in there? This is what I use for an informal seating area where maybe we just want something gravelly and kind of cool and rustic. Pea gravel, I don't like it. It rolls. I can't put furniture on it. It doesn't compact down easily in place. So this is something that I don't work with. Builder sand, also again, not a big fan. Don't work with it a lot. All right, moving up in our rock category, these, what you're going to notice, okay, is we've got more like jaggedy rocks and we have more smooth rocks. Here is how these two function. Your more jagged crushed rock is going to compact into a firmer base. So think driveways, think more like industrial pathways. This is maybe what I might use, a parking area. Over here, this wash is maybe something I would use. I would actually probably not ever use this teeny tiny wash unless I was amending, maybe I was doing like a dry river stream and I needed this as a base. I might go up here for some bigger stuff because I feel like this is just way more impactful. The larger 2x4 quarry, really. This is what you might use if you were doing like a dry river stream, but you wanted it to be more jagged. This is kind of more of like a mountainy application. And then down here, we've got the big old cobble. And again, cobble, think dry riverbed, think decorative border edging. It's not something that is great for my design aesthetic, but that's how I would use it. All right, friends, there we go. Rapid fire overview of the materials they have at the Dirt Exchange. I am actually going to be picking up a yard of compost and a half yard of fish compost, which we are smelling right here. It's going to be great. So we've already gone in and paid, and this is one of my favorite parts. I don't know why. It's so satisfying. And oh, by the way, I did go with the organic compost, not just the standard compost, because I will be using some of this around my veggies, and whenever possible, I love to go organic. This is the best. Oh my gosh. Okay, on cold winter days when you're mulching and they put in like a fresh batch of mulch, it's just like steamy and awesome. So what he's doing now is he is loading up all of that yummy fish compost. So excited. Oh yeah, and then check this out. Even on a day like today, you can see these piles steaming because they have all that heat from the soil activity just working. These guys are so great. They even get a little squish down. Okay, so we were just headed down into the basement to head out into the backyard, and I wanted to give you an update on my mums. Check this out. So these are the cuttings that we took, like, I don't know, was it like a month ago? And they are actually doing really well. And you can see right there, I just put some water in the bottom, so that's why they're soaked. But you can see I've got roots coming out there, roots coming out there. Oh, and I've got roots on that third one up there. These guys, yep, we got roots coming out of 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little ones. And then this one right here, this is the only one. So let's see here. Oh my gosh, that one has tons of roots. Look at that thing. Okay, good root development there, good root development there. This is the only one that I was kind of like, oh, I had to push down this bottom one, and I don't think it's rooted yet. So, but all of them are pushing up. Funny enough, all of them are pushing up new growth. So I think I'm going to go back in. This one is also on my watch list. It's looking just kind of okay. But anyways, I would say, quite frankly, huge success. I mean, look how happy these guys are. So I'm going to give them a little fertilizer today. And I would say some of these are ready to pot up into little 4-inch pots. And then the rest of the mums that are still out on the front table, those are looking fantastic. And so those are actually going to go in the ground hopefully today. Okay, friends, here we are in the cut flower garden. This is the target row today. So as you can see, I need to go back through this here real quick and get some of these rogue weeds out. And yes, I deal with masses and masses of weeds down here, and I'm just accepting this as part of my daily existence. So this is one of the goals today. And then back here, the back half of this row will also get a very liberal compost application. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up for success. This first row that doesn't have anything planted in it, this will become the home of my heirloom mums as well as the snapdragons. And then this row right here with the tomatoes, I actually have a few other things I'm going to put down here, and then I'm going to start sprinkling in all of my zinnias, which I haven't planted yet. And then you can see also right here, just a quick follow-up. Do you remember how these things were so pathetic looking and I cut them all the way back? In fact, right here, you can see the cuttings. Here's the scoop. This chamomile is just right back in action, and I am so excited. So I'm actually going to go through and harvest some of this chamomile this week and get it drying so I can make another batch of tea. I'm so excited. Okay, friends, I'm chiming in here because this is one of the more tough days in the garden where we have spent, I feel like, an entire 45-hour work week weeding this one row multiple times. And you can see by what I'm turning over just the masses of bindweed that exist in this garden. And it's just a constant uphill battle for us. And so I'm going slow. I am reminding myself that this is a journey. And I'm just also thinking to myself, these weeds are going to be here. I'm going to do my best. And I move on with my life. It's like sometimes you just have to soldier on and accept what is and just keep up the good fight. So when you decide to spread compost, make sure you have a good handle on that bucket, because I now have a lot of organic matter down my shirt. So gross. And we just started. I mean, all right, back to work. All right, friends, we've arrived at the next step in the dance. So what I've done here is I'm doing like a modified no dig situation. Obviously, I have to dig down here because I need to chase down all of those bindweed roots. But what I've simply done is I've top dressed this entire row with compost and the fish compost as well. And so essentially what I've done is I've created like a nice little top dressing here. As I go through and I plant, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of incorporate into the hole. This soil, after working it for a number of years, is looking kind of darn good. I'm actually really proud of it. So going in this row are things that need support. So this is an important piece of the cut flower journey, is putting things that need support together if you are doing formal rows like this. And so for me, that means I have snapdragons and I have mums that both need support. And when I talked to the folks who were doing the mum sale, they did say that some of these guys are really big, and so they would benefit from some sort of structure around them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my mums in the front. I'm going to work my way down towards my snaps, and we're going to get after it. Oh, and very final step that I don't know if I'll show me doing this, but I'm trying a new rabbit repellent. It is, I think it's called rabbit scat. Is that what it is? Plant scat? Okay. Liquid fence. Is that what I'm doing? Oh, for Pete's sake. I bought some new spray and I tried it out in a couple areas, and so far it's doing its job. I really don't have a lot of hope, but I'm going to give it a go. And one final note. When you see me plant this row, I'm going to be planting things in a zigzag pattern. And I know I've mentioned this with containers, but it applies to your soil as well. When you plant things in a row, you actually limit your space. So when you see me plant here, 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 what I'm doing is I am maximizing the amount of plants that I can grow in each row in my garden. Well, I've just finished watering everyone in. Even though we have a drip tape system here, whenever I do transplants or seed starting, you do need to hand water a little bit just to get everybody settled in to where they're gonna live. I got all of my mums in, and that timing was like perfect. They were not root bound, but healthy root development. And what's also interesting is a bunch of them had branching down at the base. And so I'm very excited to see what happens there. Next up, we got some of my favorites in. I have Potomac Ivory, Potomac Lavender. I also have Potomac Royal. Oh, Costa Silver. That's a new one for me this year. So I'm going to be excited to see how it goes. And then last but not least, I have Costa Apricot planted right down there at the end of the row. The other one I need to get in, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3 more Snapdragon selections that I'm going to be getting in. I think this might go over here. Still figuring that out. I definitely overplanted, but I'm not sad because this is one of my favorite crops that I grew 2 years ago. So I think that's going to do it for me. Oh, I almost forgot. The spray that I'm using, that I'm trying out, is Liquid Fence, because now that these are all watered in, Liquid Fence you can apply and it's pretty rain resistant. So everyone's had a good soak, so I don't need to hand water until tomorrow. So I'm going to go through, hit it with the deer and rabbit deterrent, and I'll keep you posted on Liquid Fence. I just never know with these bunnies. They're kind of savage. Friends, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. In the meantime, please say hello to your garden for me.